In this tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to create this simple design. It looks nice and very simple to make. Without talking much, let's get started. But before that, please subscribe to this channel so that the next post I'll make, you have a notification, and it will also reach out to more people like you to help them. So without talking much again, let's get started. And I'll place the resource file in the description box so that you can go and download them and use the same resource. So I'll come to a new file and name this food design, and I'll use a width of 4 and a height of 5 and 1 inches. Not necessarily the same sizes, but you can use a different size. But to make it very simple for everybody to understand, that's the reason I'm using this whole numbers and resolution 300, and I'll click on create. So I'll go to this icon down here and I'll click on it, go to solid color, and I'll change it to black. Click on OK. So I'll go to file, place embed, and I'll bring in this outline of food and I'll scale it up like this, and I'll click on OK. I'll right click here and rasterize the layer and go to adjustment, and I'll desaturate it. The reason why I desaturate it is the outline looked greenish in my eyes. It looks a bit greenish, and I don't want that. I want it to be just black and white, so I desaturate it. And I don't like the contrast, so I'll add more contrast to it. So I'll go to image again, adjustment, and this time around I'll go to curves and I'll create a point here, and I'll create another point here. So I'll bring this one down, bring this one up a bit. I think now I like the contrast, so I press Ctrl I to invert the colors. So this time around, the outline that was black is now white, and the background that was white is now black. That is what I want. Then I will decrease the opacity to let me go for 10 and see. Let me zoom in so that you can see the outline. I think 10 is still right. Let me go for 7, or let's use 5 and see. Now you can see it, but not too. Let me go for 7. I think 7 looks okay to me. Yeah, 7 looks great. So now I'll bring in my food here. Now scale it up like this, click on OK. But it has a black background, but because the background is also black, you can't see it. So I'll click on properties and go to convert to layers, and I'll click on layers. Then I'll remove the background. After removing the background, I have affected the hand a bit, so I want to bring in the affected part in. So I'll click on brush 2 over here. Then I'll go to this part and I'll increase the size of the brush, and I'll make sure that my hardness is 0. Then I'll zoom in, then I'll bring the lost part. But before that, also make sure that your color is white. If it's not white, it won't have that effect. So make sure that your foreground color is pure white, so that you can bring back erased part like this. So you look in the areas to see if Photoshop done a great job by removing the background. I think it's okay now. So I'll bring in it down here a bit down. think it's too big. Let me scale it down a bit. Control T. So you press Control T so that you can scale it. Yeah, I think it looks good now. So I'll go to my rectangle 2 and I'll draw a rectangle over here. And I'll go to the fill and I'll click on this icon here. Then I'll change the color. Double click, change it to orange. I want deep orange like this, and for the right side too, I want orange, but a bit more lighter than then I'll turn off the stroke because it has a white stroke. But before that, let me change the angle of the gradient here. It's moving from left to right. Rather, you can see the orange and it moved from left to right, but we want it to move from top to down. So we'll change the angle here, and we want it to be 90, exact 90, and it has changed to an exact 90. We can bring this closer to make the orange more than the lighter part. Yeah, now I'll click on move to, then I'll move it here, and I'll click on my move to my rectangle to move it a bit up like this. I don't know why, but I still feel like this is too big. Yeah, let me bring it here and bring this one to here. So I'll bring in go to file, place embed, and I'll bring in let me bring in my tomato first. Then I'll bring my tomato here and I'll scale it down a bit. Let me bring it here. It looks cool to me. Let me bring in my pepper. Bring it here, down here, rotate it, and scale it down a bit. And go right click and rasterize that. I'll press Ctrl J to duplicate it twice, and I'll move one here and I'll move one down here, and I'll scale this one by pressing Ctrl T, make it a bit small like that, and this one too, press Ctrl T and make it into a bit small like that. For this one, I'll click on it. It has been selected, and I'll go to filters, blur, motion blur. This gives it a bit of motion, so you can change the angle of the direction of the motion, but I want it to be in this diagonal form. I'll click on OK. Same for this one too, so I'll click on it, go to filters. This time around I won't go to blur again. It has shown here, so it will repeat the same effect that I did earlier on the one I have selected now. So you click on the motion blur, it saves you more time here. For the pepper, this one I'll leave it as it is, and I'll go to new file, place embed. I'll bring in my onion, I'll place my onion here. Let me bring here. Okay, let me bring this one a bit forward. Down here, I think it's okay. So I'll click on a rectangle here again, and I'll draw another rectangle, and I'll change the color to green, but dark green. Or let me make it a bit bright. Let's see. It looks okay. It looks okay. Yeah. So now let me open up my layers. Let me type the text first. So I'll type in here. Let me change the font to Montserrat. Let me bring the text up here. And change the size to around 8. And let me change it to semi bold and see. Yeah, I think semi bold looks okay. So here I'll double click here and change the text to I'll turn on my caps lock. Services. Yeah, services. Then I'll bring it in the middle. Then I'll click on my text too again. This time around we are going to add what we sell. So let's say fried rice. I can't spell fried rice. I hope that that's the correct spelling. I don't know, forgotten my spellings. I'll change the size to 6. Yeah, press Ctrl J to duplicate it, and I'll bring it down while holding shift. Then I'll change this one to braised rice. I'll click on braised rice and I'll duplicate that one. Ctrl J. I'll click on it, hold shift and bring it down. This one I'll name it fufu, and I'll click, make sure that I've selected the fufu. I'll duplicate that one, which food again, hold shift and bring it down. Let me say banku. So I'll click on. So now what we have to do here is, it depends on what you are selling. If you're selling few stuff, then you can select your rectangle, you click on it and you bring it up to make it fit the number of stuff you're selling. But if you're selling more stuff too, you can add more. But before that, I just want to duplicate this 4 items here many times to represent a lot of food stuff here. But before I can duplicate that, I have to lock this rectangle, and I have to lock this outline also, and lock my background to avoid the distraction. So I'll select all of them, hold Alt and duplicate all of them at once and bring it here. Then I'll align it well here. Then I'll select all of them like this, hold Alt and duplicate all of them. Then I align it well like this. Yeah, so I'll select all of them and I'll put all of them in a group like this to avoid distractions again. So I'll come here, type the food price. So I'm using Ghana cities, so that is, let's say, 50 cities for the price. Again, I'll align it well. Hold Alt, duplicate it, and align it again. Hold Alt, duplicate it, and align it. Select all, you duplicate all of them like this, then you align it. You select all of them again, you duplicate it. We have a problem here. You can see that this has been duplicated multiple times because we didn't lock it. That's the problem I'm talking about. So let me turn this one off and delete that one. Delete it. Select this one too and delete it and leave the main one. So this is what you go through when you don't lock certain items. It's the moment you select it also, and it will distract your work. So you have to lock any item that will distract your work. So let me zoom in, select let me select 4 and bring it down here. Select this one, sorry, let me select 1, make sure 1 is selected and bring it loose clustered. But I hope you understand what I'm actually trying to mean. You understand? So you take your time and arrange them. Well, you can see another problem. I refuse to lock this thing, so I select delete and make sure I've locked it. Zoom in and align them well. So now you can go ahead and change the prices as you want by using the text tool. So you use the text tool, you double click here, you change the price as you want, but I'm going to use the same price for all. So come here and I'll right click and I'll go to the line 2 and I'll draw a line here and I'll hold shift and I'll make my stroke white and I'll click OK and I'll turn off my fill. Let's see that if 1 is okay. I think 1 is okay. So select your line tool again, you click, you hold shift. Let me bring this one here. Click, you hold shift to make it straight. Hold shift. Click, hold shift. Click, hold shift. So now I'm done with the lines. So I'll click on my text to, and I'll click here and type venue. And I'll change the color of the venue to this color. And I'll click here, then move it up a bit here. Right click here, go to ellipse, and I'll draw an ellipse of this shape, and make sure my ellipse is the pixels 1. I think 1 is okay. Let's see. 1 is too thin. So I'll change the ellipse from 1 to 2, and I press enter. So for the ellipse, I'll press Ctrl J. Ctrl J to duplicate it. Then I'll press Ctrl T and rotate the duplicated one a bit. Like this. Then I'll bring in, I don't know what this leaf is called. I don't know. But I don't know. Let's bring in here and make it a bit smaller. Press Ctrl J to duplicate it. Now bring it here. Press Ctrl J to duplicate it again. I'll bring it here. Ctrl J again. And I'll bring it here. I'll select this one. Ctrl T, and I'll make it a bit small. Press this one, Ctrl T, and make it a bit small. Bring this one here. So I'll select the small ones. Go to filter, blur, motion blur. The distance 33. I think this looks good to me. I'll select this one too. I'll go to filters, motion blur, so I'll apply the same, that is the 33 distance, to the one I've selected now. I'll click OK. So now I left with my name. So my name I used happy. Happy. Let me make it big. So press Ctrl J to duplicate it, and I'll bring it down here. Double click, then change it to foods. Foods. Happy foods. And let me change the text to big bestie regular. Yeah. This one to big bestie regular. Let me make this one very small. 16, 11, 18. Let's see, I think 18 looks good to me. we change the color to white, and I'll change this one to white, and I'll double click on the happy and add a stroke to it. And for the stroke color, we change it to green. I think this color green is okay. And we change the size of the stroke to let's say I think 10. Let me go for 15 and see. 15 is too much. 12. Yeah, I think 12 looks okay. So I'll click on the food, double click here, and my color overlay. No, sorry, stroke. The same 12 for the size and the same color. If you're having a different effect, your position should be outside, and your blending mode should be normal, and your opacity should be 100. If you are even having some difficulties, you can change it to that. Click on OK. So there's black here that we need to fill, so I'll create a new layer and click on my brush and make sure that my front color here is green, the same color. I'll click on that, then I'll zoom in, and I'll paint in that color. Make sure your flow is also 100, so that it will give you a full brush. So you take your time and brush it. I'm having some challenges here, so I'll change my hardness to 100%. Then do it quick. Yeah. Then I'll bring that layer down here. I think it looks good and similar to what I showed you earlier on. But for venue, let me select it and bring it up here. We didn't type our venue, so I'll zoom in and type Osu Street. I'll turn on caps lock to make it capital. So Osu Street. Then I'll bring in my dash and I'll type in Accra. And I'll change the color to white. If you like to, you can leave it, you can change it to this color, orange. It depends on what you want. Yeah, so this is how I made that design. Very easy and very simple. How did I even forget to do this? But let me bring in this here, place embed, and bring this PNG and scale it down small, bring it here. Yeah, nearly forgot this. And also place the sleeve, bring it, rotate this, bring it to this corner, scale it up a bit. Yeah, then I think I should add motion blur. Rotate this. Let's go this direction. Yeah, let me increase the distance a bit. Control T, let me make it a bit bigger. Yeah, I think this is how I made it. Let me compare it to my own. Very similar to mine. So this is how I made this design. See you in my next tutorial. Bye for now.